Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking y'all through how I do my makeup. This is like when I have a tan on, so it's basically the same thing whenever I don't have a tan, except I'm using a different foundation. But I wanted to take y'all through this because a lot of y'all have been asking for how I do my makeup. And so I'm gonna take y'all through that. So I start off by obviously washing my face, moisturizing, all that. I do not put tanner on my face, and so my hands are darker than my face. So yeah, I don't put tanner on my face. I guess make sure your eyebrows are groomed and all that type of stuff. Okay, so my go-to foundation, what is in my hair? Vader, can you move? Thank you. Okay, so my go-to foundation, also sorry for the just mess, I haven't cleaned my house if we're being honest. Go-to foundation is the Sephora Clean Foundation, and this is in the shade 3. This is when I'm my normal skin tone, which is pale. And then I use the Maybelline 24-hour foundation. What is this? 24-hour, yeah. And this is in the shade 130 Buff Beige. This is me when I am dark, when I have a fresh tan on. And then as the days go on, I kind of mix this in to make the right shade. So I start off with this. This is very full coverage, and this one is light buildable coverage. And my skin tone is, not my skin tone, my skin type is combination. So if you're wanting to reference, if a foundation will work good on you, I'm combination. So, excuse you. Combination, but I guess kind of leaning towards the oily side, but I don't know, I guess kind of both. But yeah, it's the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. So I use the Sephora, what is this called? Pro Foundation Brush, and it's the number 64 brush. It looks like this. It's dirty, but it's just kind of got the little, what is this called? It's like a stippling brush, but I don't stipple. I do circular motions. Phasma, can you back up? I'm not doing your makeup. Thank you. Okay, so I just do one full pump on the brush. If I am trying to figure out my shade or something, I'll put it, what is this in my hair? This piece of grass. Anyway, I will put it on my hand and make sure it's the right color and everything. Especially when I start getting further into my tan, because it's getting lighter and lighter every day. But basically one pump, and then I blend it out and then see if I need any more after that. So I'm gonna start by just doing it in circular motions. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see. And I have to blend it down my neck because I, again, like I said, don't tan my face, and I try to stay away from having a super dark tan on my neck, because I already look crazy for having my face be so pale. So I don't want it to be tan and then pale. I don't want a line. So I try to just fade it down whenever I'm putting my tan on. So I just literally blend in circular motions. And I do have freckles and stuff, as you can see, so I don't really want to cover the freckles. I just want the acne and stuff to be covered. But the thing I really like about the Sephora one is that I don't know, it's light to medium coverage, but it kind of can be full coverage if you really wanted it to. So I don't know, it's kind of nice. I'm trying to get out of the phase of makeup where I am just covering and covering and covering and having it be super thick, because I don't want, I don't necessarily need that much coverage. I really don't. But anyway, just keep blending it out until it's blended. And then I'll do that full pump did my neck and basically all of that part of my face. So I'm gonna do this part and then this side of my neck. So I'm just gonna do one more pump, and then after this, I'll go in with my beauty sponge and like, kind of just like, it's not doing a whole lot other than just taking any like excess off that I don't need. But I'll just do that afterwards. So I'm blending it in. And yeah, I make really hideous faces when I'm doing this, but don't we all, you know? The makeup process is just so funny. Like, I don't know, it just is funny to me. Like, it's not that pretty, like, as you're like going through it, like the faces you make, or like the process, like if you know what baking is, like baking is not like, it looks really crazy, and it's just, I don't know, it's just really funny. So so just blend that out, and as you can see, like, let me blend this on my neck, hopefully. Okay, what was I gonna say? Oh, as you can see right here, like you can still kind of see the acne coming through, which I may put a little bit more foundation right there, but we'll see, because it's very like, I don't know. Something on my face. It's very full coverage, and like after I put like bronzer and like concealer and all these other things on, it's gonna like blend out better. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more on my forehead, just like a teeny amount, like whoop, that's it. That's probably too much anyway. So I'm gonna blend that out on my forehead. So I'm like looking in a mirror, but also like don't want to cover the camera at the same time. So something I really like about being tan is that it makes my teeth look way whiter. Like, that's so nice. I also feel like my makeup just looks better too. I don't know. I'm not saying you have to be tan, you really don't, because I'm a freaking pasty girl and I rock my pastiness too, but I don't know, it's kind of fun to like put a tan on every now and then, you know? I go through phases where I'm like really like, I like tan frequently, and then there's times where I go like 6 months and I don't put a tan on. So I don't know, I go through phases. I'm just adding a little bit more coverage over here, and I put the foundation on the brush, and then I like not stippled, I just kind of like placed it where I wanted the coverage, and then I blend in circles around that area so that the coverage stays where I wanted it to, and I'm just blending out the edges to like blend it into the rest of the foundation. If that makes sense. Okay. Okay, I think that's good. So then, like I said earlier, damp beauty blender, and just, this isn't a beauty blender, this is a Real Technique sponge, but whatever your makeup sponge is, it just needs to be one that actually like takes in water and like gets bigger, not one that's like hard and like those ones that they like try to sell you that are like knockoff beauty blenders that are just not good, and like they just literally, you're just wasting money because they don't do anything. So if you can't get the beauty blender one, I've never owned a beauty blender, so like the actual beauty blender brand, that tongue twister, geez. I've only owned the Real Techniques and the e.l.f. sponge. Those are both really good ones. The e.l.f. sponge, it's like pink. It is really good, like really good. So if you need a sponge, you can get that one. Okay, then I use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. concealer, and this is in the shade 095 Cool Ivory. And I just put it right there. And sometimes I do my nose, and sometimes I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit more necessary to put your concealer like in all the areas whenever you have a tan, because otherwise it looks very like stark, like under your eyes. Like it doesn't look like, I mean, it doesn't look natural because you're wearing makeup, but it doesn't look as natural as it could, or like as seamless as it could. So I just blend it out, tapping, not swiping. Don't swipe, you pounce or tap. And then also I have powder on this side, and then this side is the side I use for like foundation or whatever. So there's like powder like coming off onto my hand on the other side. Also, the concealer like balances out the foundation. Like it makes it look not as dark as it is. Because one thing about doing self-tanner is like, if you're gonna do it, like you just have to deal with the fact that people are gonna notice that you are all of a sudden tan. And it's like, I mean, do you? Literally do you. It does not matter what people think, but it is like, it looks a little bit harsher, like if you're just like all of a sudden like super tan and like your foundation super dark and like it's just all dark. Like it is like a lot to take in all at once. So I feel like the concealer like makes it like just a little bit more seamless and like a little bit more like toned down. So, but again, do whatever you want because it doesn't matter what people think. But I feel like it makes it, even for me, like it just, especially as like the day goes on and like stuff oxidizes, it just doesn't look as dark. So then I take some powder and powder my under eye slash right in this area, because this area is where I get really oily throughout the day. It doesn't matter how much powder I put on, oil's gonna come through later. But I would rather it not like I don't want the foundation and stuff to like slick off my face because I did not powder it at all. And that's where like the combination, like the oily part of the combination skin comes in, because I'm like super oily in those areas. Actually, not super oily. I really wouldn't say I'm super oily. I'm just like I get oily throughout the day. And like if I use something super glowy and didn't powder it, like shoot, I'd be screwed. It would be horrible. So I have to powder. So I will powder those areas like pretty heavily, I guess, and make sure you do your eyelids, so that way later on whenever you're putting on your eyeshadow and stuff, it like goes on blended and not like into like this wet creasy mess because you didn't powder your eyelids. Okay, so I'll do that, and then I kind of just like take it over on the sides. Not because I necessarily like am worried about oil over there. I just don't want to, I don't understand, let me just be super frank. I don't understand how, like if I'm watching a makeup tutorial or something, or a makeup video or whatever, how girls will put their stuff on, they'll put their liquid foundation on or whatever, and then they'll powder their under eyes, and then they'll just go in with a powder bronzer on the sides of their face or whatever. And either it's like super blended or it's just like, I just don't get how that comes out blended, because you're putting something that's a different shade already onto your skin, so it's already gonna be like harder to blend, but then you're putting it on top of a liquid, which I just literally don't understand. Like, I don't understand how that comes out blended, so I don't do that. Like, I want, even if it's like the finest layer, like I want something powder, I want some powder on my cheeks, so that way when I blend out my bronzer, it's easier. So for bronzer, I do have the Kat Von D contour thing or whatever, but I don't know, I just haven't gone back to it because I am obsessed with this L'Oreal True Match powder. Oh, I didn't show y'all what powder I used to set my face. So I use the Coty Airspun powder, and it's in the shade Naturally Neutral. I don't like the way it smells. It smells very baby powdery, but other than that, it's fine. It's also like a lot. It's like pretty heavy. It's not very thin. But L'Oreal True Match, this is like a foundation powder, but because it's a foundation powder, it's really like creamy and like blendable and like nice. So I just get it in a couple shades darker. And this is in the shade W7 Caramel Beige. So the good thing about these powders too is there's warm, cool, and neutral shades, so W, N, and C. And so you can, like, one on the actual packaging, it'll say warm, and then on the back where the shade is, it says W. So if you're wanting like certain undertones, you can purchase accordingly. So that's kind of nice. But I use this one, and then I use the Bare Minerals Full Flawless Face Brush. It's like a natural haired, natural bristles brush, and I just swirl around and do that. So and there's also dog hair literally everywhere, and then like kind of get the excess off, and then I'll just go onto the sides of my cheeks, and I always do it higher than I want the bronzer to be, because I feel like if I went like down here, like actually in the hollows of my cheek right there, it would end up going too far down because of just like how the brush is and like how we like tend to angle our brushes. So we angle them like, I don't know if you can even tell, like, okay, so like right here, like I'm angling it downwards, so it's getting powder below that. So if you just angle it upwards like that, it stays higher than bleeding down here. So just something to think about as you're applying your bronzer. But I just, like, this powder is super easy to work with, so I literally don't have to blend it for very long because it's so like nice. So this isn't really, I guess it is contouring because I'm going into the contours of my cheeks, but I'm using, I personally, like, I think I'm using too big of a brush to actually be contouring, but it's the brush I have. Also, Phasma, can you back up? Thank you. So I just blend it out, and then I always go onto my forehead. Technically, I don't think I need to blend out my or contour my forehead, because I don't think my forehead really like needs contouring. Like, I don't need to like bring it lower or anything like that. But if I just left it on my cheeks, that would look insane and not look very natural. Again, anytime I say natural in this video, just understand I know that this does not look natural because I'm putting makeup on my face. But there are certain things that can make it look like, what the flip are you doing? So, and then I'll just do like a little tiny bit on the jawbone. I don't really think it does much for me because I, as you can see, I have a double chin, so it's just whatever. But I'll just do that and make sure it's really worked in there. And then I don't contour my nose, so if you need nose contouring type stuff, I'm not the girl for it. So I don't have any tips and tricks. I mean, I kind of do because I have contoured my nose before and have seen other people contour their nose. I've done that before, so I do have some tips and tricks, but I'm not the like normal everyday nose contour type of girl. So, okay, I also have two blushes. I've been using this blush recently, the Maybelline Fit Me blush, which Maybelline Fit Me blushes are really, really, really good. This is in the shade Peach. It has a little bit of like a iridescence shimmer, not really shimmer, but kind of like glisteniness to it. And so I use the Kestrel contour brush. You can use any brush, it does not matter, but the shape of the brush is what's important. The background's like kind of dark so you can't tell, but it's at an angle. And so it's really good for the cheeks, like applying blush, I think. So I just dip it in there, again, pull off the excess. And then, let me get my mirror out. Then I will apply it right to this area and kind of blend it, the lighting, and kind of blend it back into the bronzer. Not too much, like I don't want it to look like 80s, but also, I think every person knows this that wears makeup, but blush just fades. Like it does not matter what brand you use, it fades. So I always look really blushed at the beginning of putting my makeup on, and then throughout the day, it's like faded out. So it looks like that. And I don't know if you can tell, let me pull this camera down. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got like a little bit of a glisten to it. So then I'll do the other side too. And I kind of like smirk so I can get the apples. See, as you can see, there's like that light little glisten right there. That's just the blush itself. But I do highlight too. So then I will do just a little bit on the bridge of my nose. Like just in that area. And then I'll do a slight little bit on the forehead just to like, again, as much as I possibly can, kind of blend the whole thing together. Then I go back to the Coty Airspun and I will bake. So what that means is I take this sponge and I use the other side and I just dip it into the powder, like get that much, and then I keep setting my mirror down. And then I grab, I grab the powder and then I go under my cheeks like that. And I just kind of cut out this area. What this is doing, it does set. So if some people bake like under their eyes and stuff, I don't do that just because this powder is already heavy enough and it's just not necessary for me. I don't feel like it's necessary. And I feel like it can make your under eyes look really dry really fast. But I do it under here because it, like, as you can tell, even with the technique of like holding your brush up like this instead of like this, also look at that, that looks horrendous on my wrist. Instead of holding your brush up like this to like this, it like does help, like doesn't bring it all the way down, but still like right there kind of needs to be like cut out, and like it just helps the contour be raised a bit and cleans up the bottom. So I just go underneath it and I always make sure there's like a sharp line. I just think it helps with it looking cleaner. So I kind of go from like mid-ear to the corner of my mouth on both sides. So I let that sit while I do my eyebrows. So I have done many things to my brows and I am not 100% sold on this as like my brow routine yet because it's something new that I'm trying out and I just don't know if it's for me, but I'm still doing it as of right now. So I'll take a spoolie and just brush my eyebrow hairs up to, you know, get them in the right vibe direction. And then I've been using this Pacifica brow gel, and it's kind of like a thickening brow gel, which I don't really feel like I need thickening that much, but it honestly does a pretty good job. But I just don't know, I'm not used to that look on my eyebrows yet, so we'll see if I keep doing it. Just sneeze. Ooh, okay, but the bristle is really nice because it's really small. So that's nice. And then I do it lightly at the front of the brows because they can get really harsh really quick because this shade is the dark shade. So I just kind of lightly comb through the front, and I can always go back to the front. Like I can always go back to it, so I just don't mess with it for very long. And then I go through the rest and just, what I'm really doing is coating my already like eyebrow hairs and just making them darker is what I'm doing. Like that's literally it. And I'm just not fully used to that look yet of like not fully defining the brow. And it's like a little bit messier than I'm used to. So that's what it looks like. It's pretty messy compared to this one. Also, this one has like powder on it, so it's gonna be lighter too. But then I'll just kind of go back to the front just to see if there's anything else that needs defining up there. And then that's it, that's the brow. So again, I just don't know if I'm fully liking it yet, but we'll see. I'm gonna do the other brow really quick and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, both brows are done. As you can see, it's pretty chill. Then I just take a powder brush, it doesn't matter what kind of brush, but I use this brush just to dust off down here. It's just a powder brush, so it's like thick and fluffy. And just dust that off. Then I'll take my setting spray. Okay, so I've gone through a lot of different setting sprays, and by no means am I saying this is the best one out there. I'm using this one right now. So there's a lot of good ones out there. I'm just technically like, I'm just using this one right now. So I don't know. Move your face. Okay. So this is the Heritage Store Rose Water and Glycerin spray. It's just the one I'm using. That's literally it. Then I'll spray it on my face. Make sure I like kind of, when I first get the bottle, I always just spray it out like a couple times first. So it's not like, it's gotta kind of get that like mist, you know, and it's just not like that at the beginning. So I like shake it up. It doesn't necessarily need to be shaken, but I'm just used to doing that because other ones I've used needed to be shaken. And so then I'll spray kind of from a distance, like not an arm's length, like half an arm's length. Okay, so I used to be like really terrified of using a setting spray because I was like, one, it's gonna make me look really oily, or it's gonna mess up my makeup because I'm spraying liquid on my face after I just like did everything. It honestly doesn't though. It makes it like where all the powdery look is like gone. Like it like dissolves that part, which is really nice. So I kind of let that like dry. And then I'll use, where's my brush? What the heck, where is it? Oh, it's in here. Okay, so I'll use this IT Cosmetics brush. It's the IT Cosmetics Superhero brush. It's double-ended. This is like a liner side, and this is a eyeshadow side, but it like shrinks down into like different, kind of like different, well, different densities, but different like types of brushes basically. Like this is more of like a smudger like type of brush, and then this is more of like a crease brush, and this is more like an all over brush. I just use the all over one because I'm not doing something super like in depth on my eyes, but I use the NYX, this is their Happy Birthday palette. I got it like a year or two ago. It doesn't really matter what eyeshadow palette you're using. I just use this neutral shade down here and just go onto my eyes and try to do like I just kind of wash it into my crease because I need some color on my crease. So that's what I do there. And it doesn't have to be neat or anything. I literally just like get something in there. So as you can tell, like it's a very slight difference between the two. Okay, then I'll take, technically this has an eyeliner side, but I don't like how thick it is. Like, I don't know if you can see, like that's like kind of thick and I don't like that. This one is thinner. It's like a thinner like edge and I like that. This is Face Secrets eyeliner brush and it's, I literally don't remember where I got this from, but it's just an eyeliner brush that's pretty thin, which I like. Then I'll take literally my spit, so don't judge. We've all been there, you know that. And I'll take this dark brown shade and then I will do kind of like a little wing liner on the end. So let me get a little bit closer so you can see. Okay, so I go into this like the outer edge and just kind of line, like just like tap it in on the edge. And then I'll take the brush and literally act like it's an eyeliner and just go out like that. And then I don't go all the way to the end. Sliding, there we go. I don't go all the way to the end to do the line. I go like halfway and do the line. So obviously it looks like crap right now, but I haven't filled it in yet. So okay, so the liner low-key went on hella thick today, so you just fix that. Okay, so I just like deepen it up as much as I can. I guess I could technically use like a brown liner, like an actual brown liner, but one, I don't have one, and two, I think this just looks softer. So as you can see, looks like that. And I'm gonna do the other side really quick and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got it close enough. Then I'll take just any little eyeshadow brush and I will highlight my inner corners of my eyes and then my brow bone. I use the Jeffree Star 24 Karat Skin Frost Pro Palette. Looks like this. And obviously Sarcophagus I've used the heck out of because it's so good. But I just dip into that and I'll highlight my inner corners. Like that. And then on my brow bone, I don't go all the way to the end. I literally just do like this, literally like highest part of my brow to highlight. Then I'll take a highlight brush, which this is the Morphe M438 brush. Looks like that. It's kind of large for a highlighter brush, but that's what I use. So then I'll do my cheekbones. Just literally right there, the highest point. It's so freaking bright, which is so nice. I'll do my Cupid's bow. And my nose. And then a little on the chin. The chin, I go back and forth on. It just depends. If I'm like really breaking out on my chin, then I'm not gonna put something else there to like highlight that. Same with my forehead, and I'll just do a little bit on the forehead just for the lightest little glow. But the most is concentrated on my cheekbones and then nose and Cupid's bow. Then I'll take the shade Legendary, which is like a very rosy pink color, and I will go on the apples of my cheeks. And I do this one more in circular motions. And I do that one to make the blush like more blushy and glowy, but also so that way when I smile, there's a highlight right there. So obviously super glowy. And then I usually take a makeup wipe, I'll do that in a minute, and wipe off my lips and my hands because I have makeup everywhere. I then use the L'Oreal, I think this is L'Oreal, pretty sure it is. It's the Voluminous Million Lashes Mascara. And I only do my top lashes because my bottom lashes it just always transfers onto my under eye or like smudges or something. So I just don't do it down there. I only do it on my top lashes. And I go at the root, on the full eye, and then I start doing the thing where you like blink a gajillion times so that way it lengthens. I like to make sure the root is good first. And this is a good point to be like if you need a false lash, like this is the time to do that. But I feel like for an everyday thing, my lashes are good enough to where like I can kind of get away with not putting on false lashes. So I just don't. I would if I like, I guess was like going out, but even then I feel like this is like, I don't know, pretty good for not wearing falsies. So. Okay, then I'll take a makeup wipe and it's the last of those, and wipe my hands off and my like foundation so they got my lips. Okay. Wiped the lips off. Okay, so next thing is the NYX lip liner in the shade Peekaboo Neutral. It is such a good lip liner. And I just overline on the bottom, the slightest overline down here. I overline a little bit on the center and the bottom, and then I follow the rest of my natural lip line on the bottom, on the sides. Okay, bottom is lined. Then on the top, I do some overlining on the Cupid's bow. Like that. And then I follow straight down. On the sides. Overlining your lips is just something you have to try over and over and over again until you nail it, because it's not really something you can like teach, I guess, because everyone's lip shape is different. So this may work for my lips, but it might not work for yours, depending on, you know, if your lips look almost identical to mine, then yes, but. Okay, lip liner's done. Then I will take the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. Like it's kind of like a liquid lip. And this is in the shade 05 Loyalist. I posted about it on my Instagram before, so you might have already heard of it, but I just do a little bit on the center, like that. And then up there. And then I just take my finger, like my ring finger, and blend it out. And looks like that. So that is the makeup look. Okay, so this is what it looks like up close. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any other requests on videos, just let me know and I will try to get them to you as quickly as possible. I will change my makeup every now and then, so if something changes, I'll let you guys know. But that's basically my everyday makeup right now, and I've really been enjoying it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.